Hello, everyone. My name is Matt Gilhooly, and it's a pleasure to be here today to present the Live, Work, Everywhere campaign to Airbnb. This campaign represents an opportunity for Airbnb to position itself as the premier remote work booking site worldwide. Today's presentation will review the high-level points of the campaign proposal that you have in front of you. An Owl Labs study showed that remote employees were 22% happier than on-site workers. They stayed in their jobs longer and had less stress and more focus. And 91% of those surveyed said that they were as or more productive as they were in the office. In addition, the U.S. Travel Association notes that in March 2022, travel spending was close to 2019 levels. And finally, Airbnb noted in its annual report that in the third quarter of 2021, nearly 50% of the nights booked were for stays of 7 or more days. These trends inspired the research and the development of the Live, Work, Everywhere campaign. But first, let's review what we'll discuss in today's presentation. I'll review some of the strengths and opportunities and the threats presented to Airbnb in the current climate. We'll discuss a few main competitors and examine highlights of a few past Airbnb campaigns to give some context to today's proposal. Then we'll jump into the Live, Work, Everywhere campaign by examining the goals and objectives for Airbnb when we implement this. We'll review the target audience's qualities and the strategies and tactics to engage with these groups best. Then we'll talk about a few key messages and how we will evaluate the campaign. And finally, I'll show you the timeline and the budgets that we propose for the Live, Work, Everywhere campaign. Airbnb's mission is to create a community of hosts and guests who feel at home. It's a business that curates a worldwide network of over 4 million hosts who provide over 1 billion guests access to stay in previously unavailable and unique places. In March 2022, 68.4% of Airbnb's web traffic came from consumers typing the company URL directly into a web browser. This data shows the strength of the company's market share, its brand recall, and its brand awareness. In addition, Mr. Chesky is known for transparent and public communications about the industry and the organization. This builds trust with internal and external stakeholders. There were a few areas that we see as a challenge, and although we won't spend much time on these, it's essential to be aware of them. Airbnb can mitigate most of these through communication efforts. Since 2016, a few studies have shown that some Airbnb hosts were racially profiling their guests. Airbnb has done an excellent job working to remove 1 million hosts and addressing issues with transparent communication. The company has also seen a few issues where neighbors of listings did not like Airbnb due to the uncontrolled guests nearby. But again, Airbnb is working with other parties to address these prohibited party issues. And finally, Airbnb still struggles to verify the quality of all their listings. Airbnb can improve this through more intense screening and proper communication. As noted earlier, this campaign is an opportunity. Therefore, it's essential to reiterate the growth of remote work options globally, including those at Airbnb. Travel is returning to pre-pandemic levels, increasing the need for accommodations worldwide. Many people stay in locations longer than 7 days, too, allowing Airbnb to capitalize on more extended work-related stays of digital nomads. A few threats remain, such as COVID-19 waves that may restrict travel. There are local rules against short-term rentals, and there are some government restrictions on visas and other extended stay regulations. Airbnb's list of direct competitors is not extensive, but it has numerous indirect competitors such as Booking.com, Expedia, Kayak, and hotel chains. However, to properly situate Airbnb in the market, it's important to focus solely on the direct competitors, Vrbo and Home2Go. Airbnb, Vrbo, and Home2Go offer host-owned places for guests to stay, thus qualifying them as direct competitors. Vrbo focuses primarily on larger spaces for vacation rentals, whereas Airbnb offers shared spaces, private spaces, and unique lodging opportunities such as tree houses and yurts. Home2Go partners with more prominent vacation rental brands to show various options for vacation rentals. Airbnb successfully leverages user-generated content to build a following through travel pictures, stories, and videos. Vrbo seemingly focuses its content strategy on finding perfect vacation spaces for families and features mostly company-generated content on its social media platforms. And Home2Go creates or owns all social media content posted on its platform. Therefore, Airbnb's consistent and transparent brand voice and the unique spaces on its platform are key differentiators from its direct competitors, giving it its highest market share. In addition, Airbnb has likely earned strong brand awareness as the go-to for vacation stays because of its social media presence, transparent communication, and marketing campaigns compared to Vrbo and Home2Go. In this new communication campaign, Airbnb can build upon its strong reputation as the top brand for remote work stays. In most of Airbnb's communication campaigns, the message is clear. The Airbnb community aims to create a world where all 7.5 billion people can belong anywhere. Airbnb wants to make everyone feel like they're home by showing travelers or workers that they can have unique experiences unavailable on other platforms. And hosts can curate these memorable experiences by offering up their properties. In addition, there's consistent messaging in Airbnb's campaigns that aim to broaden individuals' worldviews and celebrate new experiences and people. 3 notable campaigns are One Less Stranger, Belong Anywhere, and We Accept. The One Less Stranger campaign earned over 3 million engagements in the first 3 weeks of its campaign. The Belong Anywhere campaign raised over $1.6 million for refugee aid. And the We Accept campaign earned a positive sentiment rating of 85%, over 33,000 tweets in the first half of the 2017 Super Bowl. The examples of these 3 campaigns provide a strong foundation for a remote work-focused external communications campaign. So Airbnb must continue communicating its mission to help people feel like they belong anywhere. However, the company can use its new internal employee policy to create a compelling campaign that enhances its brand awareness and hopefully helps Airbnb become the leader in setting an international standard for remote work. With this in mind, we've created the Live, Work Everywhere remote work focused communication campaign built on the opportunity to establish Airbnb as the premier remote work booking site. This is a 124-day campaign that starts on August 29th and ends December 31st, 2022. The goal set for the Live, Work Everywhere Airbnb campaign address increasing brand awareness as the top remote work booking site, establishing a positive global reputation for the new Live and Work Anywhere initiative, expanding Airbnb's online community to build a repository of user-generated content, and increasing revenue through remote work-specific bookings. We established the objectives for this campaign using SMART goal formula. This means all objectives are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. We built a few of the objectives on baseline data from the previous Airbnb campaigns that I discussed a few moments ago. As you can see, we plan to measure the use of hashtags and engagements with the campaign content. In addition, we will use content analysis to measure the sentiment of the engagements and the earned media. We'll also aim to build 2 or more partnerships for the Live and Work Anywhere initiative and increase the number of remote work bookings on the platform. Finally, we'll also seek to increase the online community by 3%. We'll measure these objectives through December 31st, 2022 to determine the campaign's success. However, based on previous campaigns, we find that these are optimistic yet attainable. There are 2 broad target audiences for this remote work awareness campaign: Airbnb guests and employees. Airbnb's campaign should target the lifestylist group of millennials to capitalize on a significant portion of its most active customers. This group is 62% female and 38% male, and they use their job to support their lifestyle. Also, in 2021, 15.5 million American digital nomads chose to combine working remotely while traveling, and nearly half of these people are millennials, which further supports selecting the target audience for this campaign. Most of the individuals in this audience rely on solid internet connections to complete their jobs, and they choose locations with the infrastructure to support remote work. This group also has a high value of using social media in both personal and organizational contexts, thus supporting the campaign's intended tactics. We created audience personas for 2 guest audience members to better cater the campaign content towards them. Using data from remote work and digital nomad studies paired with Airbnb's annual report, this communications campaign's primary target audience is millennial Americans between the ages of 26 and 34 years old that are digital nomads and entrepreneurs or both. With this primary audience in mind, Airbnb can focus on its unique promise of value, showing how properties around the globe are remote work ready. In addition, the propensity to regularly use social media will likely lead to higher engagement with the campaign's social media giveaway for Airbnb, thus leading to more earned and shared media. Airbnb should also craft communications and tactics towards its internal employees with similar characteristics to the guest target audience described in the previous slide. It's essential to activate engagement with this group of individuals to create employee-generated content, showing how Airbnb's new remote working policy works within the organization. Soliciting user-generated content from internal employees and guests may enhance the campaign's impact by showing examples of productive remote workers. These examples shared throughout the campaign from both sides may further inspire others to become digital nomads while continuing to build revenue for Airbnb. So the next question is, how can we cater to this target audience to increase Airbnb's brand awareness and truly establish its place as the premier remote work booking site? By implementing the integrated approach through all 5 strategies, Airbnb will likely meet the conservative key performance indicators set for the campaign. The first strategy is the crux of the communication campaign. All assets created by Airbnb must lead with its unique promise of value that separates it from its competitors. Creating owned content about remote work will help establish Airbnb as a thought leader in this space. Ideally, promoting this own content through paid media will lead to organic earned media from online publications. The second strategy aligns with the first to build upon Airbnb's unique promise of value. But this strategy focuses on building owned content that showcases how the new remote employee policy works at Airbnb. This owned media humanizes the brand. It helps establish the company as a leader in remote work, and it shows how people can productively work in its properties around the world. Social media giveaways or sweepstakes with prizes lead to user-generated content. Based on previous communication campaigns and Airbnb's social media presence, this third strategy will help build brand awareness and expand its social media community. This communication campaign's 4th and 5th strategies will help raise global awareness of Airbnb's Live and Work Anywhere initiative and establish its unique promise of value. Ideally, these owned assets will lead to shared and earned media about how Airbnb sets the standard in remote work global operations. Through all of these strategies, the campaign will influence more interactions with the brand, higher brand awareness and recall, and ultimately, more revenue, hitting the final goal set for the campaign. The first tactic of creating evergreen content about remote work will help develop thought leadership, increase Airbnb's brand awareness and brand recall as the premier site to book places to stay as a digital nomad or remote worker interested in travel and new culture. This evergreen content can be repurposed into multiple forms throughout the campaign to build engagement and use the overall campaign hashtag. The second tactic is a social media giveaway, and it's imperative for the campaign. Airbnb will implement the giveaway on Facebook and Instagram and will ask users to share stories of productive remote work in Airbnb properties worldwide using the hashtag #LiveWorkEverywhere. There will be 3 prizes selected at random at the end of that component. Since giveaways generate high amounts of user-generated content, this strategy aligns well with Airbnb's digital content strategy of primarily using content posted by social media followers on its platform. The third tactic shows how remote work functions within an organization and how easy it is to find Airbnb-listed property worldwide that supports productivity. We believe that using the employee stories throughout the campaign will help digital nomads and lifestylists feel like part of the Airbnb community. The theme of this campaign is "Work is possible anywhere," giving people a world of opportunities. We wanted to keep this core theme concise and palatable, but also flexible enough to cover the driving intentions of the communication campaign, the crux of which is the forward-thinking remote work policy at Airbnb. This theme supports the campaign's overarching purpose as it reinforces the remote work policy at Airbnb. It allows messaging to reflect remote work spaces globally on the Airbnb platform, and it provides the ability to promote the Live and Work Anywhere initiative implemented recently by Airbnb. The following slides will have key messages to drive our content toward the target audiences. You can read them in more detail in the campaign proposal, but I want to give you some insight into how these messages will drive engagement. This first supporting message promotes the values of remote working using data from studies. With this message, the intention is to drive brand awareness and interest in finding verified spaces that are productive for remote work worldwide. This second message will engage people to participate in the giveaway that results in the opportunity to win free stays and Airbnb-listed remote work properties. It also leads with the company's mission to promote belonging and community. A byproduct of this message is social media engagement with the campaign hashtag. The third message speaks to the desires of the lifestylist group to use work to travel or afford their hobbies. Using this message, Airbnb reinforces this audience member's work-life balance goals. In addition, it promotes extended stays, showing that lifestylists can productively work from any location for more than a short stay. Ultimately, this will increase brand awareness of Airbnb as a premier remote work accommodations option. The supporting message for employees aims to solicit earned and owned media from internal employees actively participating in the remote work policy throughout the globe. The goal is to encourage user-generated content showing how Airbnb employees can use the network effectively. Ultimately, this could establish Airbnb as a model for successful remote work. The Live Work Everywhere campaign will use Sprout Social to track metrics such as engagement, hashtag usage, sentiment analysis, and follower counts related to the campaign throughout the 124 days. Additionally, the team will conduct a final assessment after the campaign ends to determine the return on investment and adjustments for future communication campaigns. Using Sprout Social, we can identify the number of uses of the campaign hashtag to determine if the campaign met its goal of 600,000. We will count the engagements across all owned and earned Live Work Everywhere content to see if the campaign achieves more than 4 million engagements. It would be good to use content analysis to measure the sentiment ratings of these engagements to address a brand awareness goal and see the growth in perception of Airbnb as the premier remote work booking site. On an ongoing basis, we will monitor the sentiment through social listening tools. The campaign budgeted for 3 Sprout Social accounts, 1 pre-campaign survey, and 1 post-survey. With this sentiment data across engagements paired with the awareness surveys, the campaign can determine if it met its goal of highly positive sentiment. And while sentiment ratings do not directly correlate with financial figures, when combined with objective measures like engagement rates and conversions to sales, Airbnb can present a more accurate measurement of ROI. Airbnb will assess the number of remote work bookings during the campaign period in order to establish a baseline for future remote work-focused communication campaigns. And finally, measuring the increase in the Airbnb online community can lead to increased sales. And although counting new followers is typically labeled as a vanity metric, studies show that 9 out of 10 consumers will buy from brands that they follow on social media, and 86% of those followers choose the brand over the competitors. So even though these consumers may not initiate bookings during the campaign timeframe, this figure can be calculated as part of a customer lifetime value or long-term impact and partially attributed to the Live Work Everywhere campaign. All of the mentioned methods of ROI measurement for Airbnb can indirectly tie into sales conversions and therefore present financial data based on industry standards and studies that proves the value of this campaign if Airbnb meets its objectives through its 124-day Live Work Everywhere campaign. For an example calculation of the potential ROI, the travel industry's average conversion rate is currently 3.9%. So taking a conservative approach with 1% conversion of hashtag uses, Airbnb could earn a potential 6,000 conversions to sales on its platform from this campaign. So if we assume a 3-day booking for a total of $400 for each transaction, that would equate to upwards of $2.4 million in revenue. Therefore, in this example, the ROI for this campaign based on hashtag engagement would be 979%. And to verify the validity of the industry conversion average, the campaign team could cross-reference benchmark sales data from August 29, 2021 to December 31st, 2021 with the same 2022 campaign timeframe. We have a detailed calendar of campaign events in the proposal, but we've displayed a high-level timeline on the slide. So as you can see, we'll have a pre-launch period in August 2022 to create a video announcing the launch of the campaign giveaway and a microsite to collect the entries and other customer data for future needs. The campaign implementation will run from August 29th, 2022 to December 31st, 2022. The giveaway tactic will run from the beginning of the campaign through November 27th, 2022. This allows time to create assets related to the winners and the campaign results for press releases and other earned media. The analysis and measurement will be ongoing, and it will conclude on January 31st, 2023 with a presentation to the C-suite with the campaign results and the next steps. There's a full breakdown of the budget in the campaign proposal that you have in front of you. However, I wanted to share some of the main components. For this campaign, we budgeted for 3 communication specialists and 1 campaign director. We use the current rates on Glassdoor to approximate those costs. We will also need to develop a microsite and 2 videos for the social media giveaway. And the campaign will also issue 3 press releases about the campaign. Beyond the labor costs, the bulk of spending will be on paid ads for the owned content and paid ads for the giveaway repurposed content. Finally, we've budgeted lines for the giveaway prizes, Sprout social accounts, and 2 surveys to measure brand awareness. The projected budget for this campaign is just over $222,000. But as noted a few slides ago, even using lower than industry average conversion rates, this campaign could result in millions of dollars in revenue for Airbnb. We designed the Live Work Everywhere campaign's overall objectives and strategies to meet Airbnb's mission and bottom line goals. This campaign represents an aggressive 4-month communications push to build brand awareness of Airbnb as the premier remote work booking site with the lifestylists and digital nomad groups. In addition, the social media giveaway component intends to grow the Airbnb online community and allows users to showcase how they can be productive working at Airbnb listings worldwide. We hope that user submissions inspire the target audience to become lifetime guests of Airbnb. In addition, the evergreen remote work content will help to establish Airbnb as a thought leader in the space. With the successful 2022 launch of this 124-day campaign, the team proposes a continued effort with the Live Work Everywhere campaign in subsequent years based on the projected high ROI potential. High engagement with the campaign and increased remote work locations will lead to a broader Airbnb community and increased revenue. In addition, as Airbnb's focus is on its mission of making people feel like they belong anywhere, this campaign will allow for more partnerships with locations around the globe for remote work destinations for the lifestylists and digital nomads. Thank you for your time today as I presented the Live Work Everywhere campaign highlights. Please scan this QR code to access the document if you need a digital copy of the proposal. Now I'd love to answer any specific questions about what I just discussed or what's in the campaign proposal. Thanks again for the engaging dialogue and for the opportunity to show you what is possible if we move forward with the Live Work Everywhere campaign. We're ready to start our campaign pre-launch whenever you are. Thanks.